Over the years, the result and rewards of the derby have invariably been driven by pride, talent, and often the league championship. But where the joy of winning is the ultimate prize. Now played out with similar ferocity on the playing field. Whilst the troops spurred their front line on, luck would favour those who took full advantage of their opportunities. It was not a time for the faint-hearted. Nothing short of uncertainty had no place in such a threatening atmosphere, where the slightest error could be disastrous and the penalty fatal. Indecision could lead to confusion, creating bloody confrontation. And injuries could affect morale, forcing a desperate change of tactics to stave off defeat. Firepower was a weapon used with devastating effect. Whilst the centuries passed, the conflicts still continued. Now the quest for an independent, unified Italy was the goal. For Milan, it would mean the removal of 300 years of foreign domination. No quarter was given as the intensity of the war escalated with mounting casualties. Survival was the key, no matter how grave the position. But the power of the flag and the strength of the team's shirt meant everything, turning imminent defeat into unexpected victory. The celebration of victory was as symbolic on the playing field as it was with the new power brokers in the aftermath of a liberated Italy. The early won by Inter. Upgrading continued over the next 60 years, culminating in major renovations for the 1990 World Cup. The end result is a triumph for Italian architecture.
È come la Scala, è come il Duomo, è uno dei simboli di questa città.
La seconda casa.
The most controversial, though, was through the actions of Inter's most notorious court jester, Benito Lorenzi, in 1957.
Finse di andare a mettere a posto il pallone del giocatore del Milan e prese il limone e lo mise sotto il pallone.
Lorenzi's actions were seen by everyone but the referee and the Milan players. Milan fans tried desperately to attract their attention.
I tifosi del Milan, a quella porta lì, i tifosi del Milan, sono venuti su, volevano entrare in campo.
Milan fans were infuriated, screaming poison, poison at Lorenzi, but still the referee didn't respond. Inter fans were overjoyed at the miss, whilst the cries of poison echoed from the Milan terraces. Lorenzi's nickname became infamous from then on.
Lorenzi si mise a ridere, il giocatore del Milan.
It didn't take long for the players to deliver. 2 goals in quick succession by newcomer Comandini put Milan in the box seat. After a mixed season, Milan were about to give their fans something to shout about and believe, at long last, that what goes around comes around. The legacy of Lorenzi's conniving was about to be repaid. Everything Milan touched turned to gold, with Russian ace Shevchenko having a field day. Brazilian star Serginho wrapped up the event with a 6th record-breaking goal. It was the biggest victory in any Milan league derby. For Inter president Massimo Moratti and his coach Tardelli, it would be a goal scorer for 5 seasons in the early 50s. Juan Pepe Schiaffino, Milan's Uruguayan star, famous for destroying Brazil in the 1950 World Cup. Valentin Angelillo, Inter's Argentine magician, whose graceful acrobatic skills in the 50s caused havoc in defences wherever he played. And José Altafini, Milan's elusive Brazilian, who had an instinctive knack of scoring goals on the most important occasions. But if one era symbolizes the rivalry of the 2 clubs and the nation, it was the emergence of Milan's golden boy, Gianni Rivera, and Inter's great striker, Sandro Mazzola, in the early 1960s. Both players had precocious talent, breaking into their senior teams by the time they were 17. Who was the better or more effective became a regular talking point as they guided their clubs to the highest honors and competed for the same number 10 in the national team. They were both highly competitive as one tried hard to outdo the other, with the media constantly trying to drive a wedge between them. Despite the controversy, they remained loyal one-club players and between them played over 80 Milan derbies and 130 times for Italy. His achievements were impressive. European Player of the Year, along with League, European and World Club titles, made him a hero everywhere. Mazzola was equally adored by fans and football aficionados, winning a raft of honors himself. On the field, both players left normally reliable defenses in turmoil as they split them apart and scored goals at will. Both took great delight in taunting the opposition and made scoring look easy. Although their individual skills were exceptional, they were also great team players, taking full advantage of those around them. Unfortunately, both played in the same position, with the national team the ultimate loser through its inability to find a way to blend them together in the same team. The short-sighted option was to only use them in different halves. They would remain rivals for the best part of 2 decades. The pinnacle for both players was their influence in winning the highest honors for their clubs through the 1960s. The European Cup to Italy for the first time, and only a third-match playoff loss to Pelé's Santos denied them the World Club Championship. Milan's glory would crisscross with that of Inter, who next took over as champions in 1964, which they would repeat the following year against Benfica. The sweet taste of victory would continue during a decade of dominance by the Milan clubs. Whilst Giuseppe made his mark with Inter, early rejection saw Franco move to Milan, where he remained for the rest of his playing career. Franco became a national icon with his inspirational captaincy of both Italy and Milan during its second golden era. His marauding runs upfield often led to unexpected goals, and he was never short in coming forward on a matter of principle. The Baresi spirit was infectious, as it ran through the club, and the subsequent awards soon followed. As they did for Giuseppe, who would also play alongside Franco in the national team. Franco's farewell to his beloved Milan was a tearful occasion, but once again stressed the importance of the man to the club and the fans. For his contribution on and off the field, Franco was named Milan's Player of the Century, a fitting accolade to a man who was a vital part of the club's return to glory. Continue for some time, especially with a junior Maldini in the wings. The strength of both clubs lies as much in its support as with its talent. The Nerazzurri have always had an array of stars who've symbolized the club's success and the passion that runs throughout the club. Internazionale has traditionally had a strong, regal, conservative image, with its power base set amongst the ranks of the more affluent social classes. It has a rich history of success, with 2 world title feat existing president and son, Massimo Moratti, who, when he wasn't playing to the crowd, was a lethal striker in his own right. But it was the 1960s dream team, fueled by the money of Angelo Moratti and the technique of coaching. In his first derby, Mazzola scored the quickest goal on record in 13 seconds. Herrera's first move was to buy the skillful Spaniard Luis Suarez from Barcelona for a then world record transfer fee. Suarez would become Inter's midfield dynamo. Giant attacking defender Giacinto Facchetti would be another vital cog in the Inter machine. Herrera's objective was to create a new playing style that would maximize talent and fitness. Moratti gave him the money, Herrera repaid him with the trophies.
Herrera
For very best with their lethal style of counter-attack. After Herrera, Inter struggled until present national coach Giovanni Trapattoni arrived. In between, German superstar Rummenigge showed off his goal power, and local star of the 80s, Altobelli, displayed his flair for both club and country. Trapattoni's best buys, though, were the German trio of Matthäus, Bremer and Klinsmann. Lothar Matthäus played conductor and star, setting up goals, scoring goals and winning the Scudetto, proving beyond doubt why he deserved to be European Player of the Year in 1990. Jürgen Klinsmann's delight in scoring goals was almost as well known as the daredevil antics of volatile goalkeeper Walter Zenga, who remained an Inter stalwart for over a decade. Inter's most enduring symbol was arguably Giuseppe Bergomi, who played everywhere for the Nerazzurri. The arrival of Ronaldo heralded a huge sense of expectation, but injury has hampered Ronaldo badly, as well as his strike force partner, Christian Vieri, despite maintaining a high scoring record. Sadly, the last trophy to grace the club cabinet was the UEFA Cup in 1998, which has created much who've left their own individual mark at the club.
Milan per me è tutto.
Gren, Nordal and Liedholm, known affectionately as Grenoli. Now it would thrive under the combined influence of Gianni Rivera and Il Paron, Nereo Rocco. Rivera was born to be a star in manner and appearance. After mesmerizing defenses, he used such skills when becoming Italy's Minister of Defense. His duels with Mazzola, though, are still etched fondly in the mind modus operandi, turning it from also-rans into champions. Respected by many and goaded by others, Berlusconi's confidence and foresight, along with his considerable financial support, has been the key to the club's subsequent of Reichardt, Van Basten and Gullit, who made it tick. Ruud Gullit was a consummate ball player who was never happier than when dictating the game and scoring with either foot or head, which he did in devastating fashion, winning him the highest accolades. In the eyes of the pundits, there was no more graceful and natural striker than Marco Van Basten. What others found hard, he made easy. His deceptive pace and lethal finishing were often the difference between Milan winning or not. His tragic early retirement through injury was a major blow to the club. Frank Reichardt was the unsung hero of the trio. A tireless worker with great finesse and all-round skills, he was the key to many an important Milan victory through his clinical finishing. Berlusconi's belief in the relatively unknown coach Arrigo Sacchi again paid dividends as Sacchi displayed a divine touch. The Dutch influence was never more effective than when winning the European Cup. Rijkaard's marauding solo effort against Benfica highlighted how vital his role was to the team. It was an era in which Milan... Packaging success is all important. Berlusconi's maxim is that everyone should be involved, from the president down. Milan is seen not just as a club, but as a family member to all its fans. And for every new contracted star, another product line emerges.
We do products for champions.
Medical spotlight. But when his encouragement is often the key to victory, it takes desperate measures to silence them. And even that is no guarantee. Than the nation's beloved culture, where headlines are designed to shock and provoke the most emotive response. armchair analysis is relentless as a host of specialist television shows and rival newspapers kickstart the drama daily, long before the conflict truly begins.
La stampa oramai fa parte del calcio, magari a volte vorresti un tipo di informazione meno strillata e più equilibrata, però fa parte del gioco, è così nel calcio, è così nello spettacolo, è così sempre.
Lead not only to loss of points, but loss of face, and ultimately loss of job. Before the players take center stage, the stadium belongs to the fans, who now play their own game, taunting and provoking each other with songs and other tactics that traditionally goad and offend the opposition. Rival heads of state prepare themselves like everyone else, well aware of what victory and defeat means to both of them. As the teams emerge, the fans now show their allegiance in their most inspiring way. Each tries to outdo the other in image and scale. It's also a moment to show the family bonding between players and children. Whilst managers steel themselves along with the crowd and players, some reveal a last-minute light-heartedness to lift the tension of the match ahead. But it's only a momentary diversion. Straight from the kickoff, the battle begins and the lines are drawn. This is the most testing period and revenge is quickly meted out. Neither side is allowed to settle on the ball, much to the anger of fans from both sides, whose vision is invariably one-sided. Boban is a Milan veteran and thrives on the tense atmosphere. He's also, with his skills, a prime target. The Uruguayan Reichardt weaves his way through and is unlucky to see his shot deflected and then become the center of Milan abuse as oranges rain down upon him. Constant pressure by Inter sees Zanetti's shot go just wide, leaving Zaccaroni seething over Milan's slack market. A strong run by Serginho looks promising, but he loses control. Inter pressurise Milan with some good attacking, free-flowing football. A bad mistake by goalkeeper Abbiati gives Inter a break. Reichardt links with Zamorano, who gladly takes the opportunity, much to the dismay of Milan fans, but delight of Inter. Zamorano is ecstatic. Zaccaroni is livid. As the replay shows, Reichardt easily beat the offside trap to set up Zamorano. Into the second half, and Zamorano's point-blank volley is blocked by Abbiati. Seedorf sets up Reichardt, whose volley cannons off the post. Whilst Lippi remains calm, Zaccaroni is beside himself. Kauer blatantly fouls Boban again. Tempers flare as Boban takes revenge, much to the anger of the Inter players this time. Whilst Boban gets sympathy, Kauer reveals he's more an actor than a victim. Milan fans dislike the deceit, but sense this is not their day, as Seedorf sets up Di Biagio, who scores with a great volley. Inter fans are overjoyed, Milan silent in disbelief. Zaccaroni resigned to defeat. The striker by Di Biagio was a goal worthy of winning any match. Di Biagio savours the moment, whilst Lippi reveals nothing. Zanetti pushes for a third, only to be denied by some desperate tackling. Boban's long-range lob is just wide, much to his disbelief and the Milan executive. With time fast running out, Milan win a last-gasp penalty. All eyes are on Shevchenko, who slots it home with ease. But Zaccheroni knows it is too little, too late. Gattuso's eagerness is not enough to stop the final whistle. An elated Zanetti shows his appreciation for the role the fans have played, whilst upset Milan players can only reflect on what might have been. Everybody loves a winner, but there are no perfectly why the derby generated such emotion. But what would happen if there was no outlet that could capture their hearts in such a dramatic way? Where the spectacle of the derby creates its own fantasy for fans everywhere.